Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tina and it is a beautiful day to be creating with you. I am finishing up a project, several actually, that I have off to the way. I'm doing a huge picture print right now to fill up some done layouts that I have. I thrive on done layouts. They really do balance my scrapbooking and make sure that I can kind of keep going. I'm very used to using those, but I'm also trying to finish up some other projects as well. So for our Skylark, I am doing something different. I am actually doing the entire workshop the way it is. Now, I normally like to do my own thing, but I saw this in person after a fellow consultant had done it, and I thought it was gorgeous. So I was like, I'm just going to do that, but I wanted to offer a bonus layout. So here's my inspiration. I've had this sticking around for a while. I have completed a design space file for this, but it's so easy. It's like you don't even need it. So let's go ahead and dive in with our bonus project from Skylark. So a couple of tips and tidbits on this before we get started. One is cut your entire project. Let me show you. Okay, so since I haven't worked with this yet, I kind of looked through and I'm hoping I pulled all the stickers off the sticker sheet and I stuck them on the plastic bag. I'm hoping I got them all, but guess what? If not, I'll deal with it when the time comes and put something else on there. I have all my cards all cut and labeled. See, everything is cut and labeled. Every single project for this has been completed. So I know that these pattern papers that I'm working with are just my leftovers. And this weekend, when I have my wonderful scrap weekend, I'm scrapping all weekend, starting Friday and Saturday and most of Sunday. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I can keep that going. So before you try this project, just make sure that you, get all of those cut so that you have them. Okay, another thing that I did was we are working with something old and something new, which means every time I do a project, I have to pull some old stuff in. Now, for this particular design, this is out of the Close to My Heart catalog. Such a great layout. They really utilized this when they did this Cake Day and In Full Bloom. That is all these little extra papers were mix-ins, and that is a great way to do it. I literally just flipped through some of my papers, and like this is from an old paper, but it's shortbread. This is from As You Grow. This was from a mix-in, and I grabbed that because it was toffee. I grabbed this because it was Lagoon, and I grabbed a couple of zip strips that I had. This was in with another paper. One of the things that I like to do is after I've used up a good portion of the paper pack, if I have good sized pieces or even 12 by 12 pieces, I will try to move them with another collection that has that color and it extends that paper pack. Now, my goal for this year is not really to have leftovers. So I'll be making one more card project with this paper and then it'll be gone. All right, that's enough chit chat. Let's dive in. All right, I have some stickers standing by that I can use. I don't have to worry too much because this collection came with a stamp set. So I have my stamp set that I haven't gotten to work with a lot this time. This is a Bring Back My Pack. All right. We've got a few things to work on here to get this together. So I'm going to keep bringing in that inspiration so that you can see it. Here's my inspiration piece. You can see I have the Lagoon in the back, kind of similar. I'm leaving out this little sheet right here. I've also changed up my layers here and here, and I'll explain that when I get there. But my group is currently working with Irresistibles. So I've taken the Irresistible leaves, which I think looks so good. And I've cut this down to an 11.5 by 11.5. And then I gutted it, leaving only 1 inch because Irresistible paper is a little bit more expensive. And I'm going to be covering most of this up. So I want to protect my investment and make sure I get lots and lots of projects. This is part of our creative art challenge. So anytime we use Irresistibles, we get an extra point this month. And so that's going to be a big one. All right, I'm going to kind of put this off to the side and I will bring this back in a few minutes. While I'm doing this, I'm also going to be coloring the 3x3 that I've cut. Now for this design, every single one of these are just 3x3s that are then turned and cut on the angle. And I'll show that when I cut this one. I'm going to move this off to the side. All right, and bring in some toffee. We're going to go ahead and get started on this. I have a lot of inking to do on this Irresistible paper. So I'm going to go ahead and get it started, and then we will pop off I'll pop off and finish it so you don't have to watch me color it all the way around. Okay, so one of the things is that I am going to, I also have a mocha, because I might bring in a little bit of some dark, a little bit of a darker brown. I kind of like that look, so I'll mention that as I go. All right, I'm taping this off. I want to get my ink started, so I'm just going to grab, I want to get a little bit rubbed into my brush here. I find that this just works better for me before I just put it right on there. Okay, there we go. Okay. And I wanted these leaves to be brown, but I have to tell you, if you don't have the Irresistible papers that I am working with, that's a-okay. Use the stencil. Use the stencil. Now, what'll happen is my leaves will be the toffee, or my leaves will be the white, because that's the Irresistible. And then my leaves are, the background's going to be the toffee. So my leaves are going to have this white shiny color. Now, if you're new to Irresistibles, I'm putting several coats on here. A big tip that I have is, as you go, don't wait till the end. Kind of polish those leaves as you go. I'm using my favorite old sweatshirts or jogging pants. Now, I'm just going to put this aside and let that start to dry. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to go around this piece. I'm actually going to take the long way around. I'm going to go right in a circle and just kind of keep going and adding until I get all the way around. Nothing special about it, but it's probably going to take me a few minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this going all the way around, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so look at that. Oh, I love the Irresistibles. We have all of our inking done with our blending brush and our toffee ink on that Irresistible. Whoops. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and wipe our craft mat down. All right, and let's go back to this little piece that we have here. I'm just going to flip that masking tape. Okay, to the other side. I love our masking tape. Our masking tape is amazing. I'll make sure I put all the details and the information and the links about everything I'm using down in the comments for you. Okay, so just right onto the toffee again and right onto the Irresistibles. My brush has a nice buildup of ink in it now, so I'm going to get better coverage. I want this to be darker than the frame. I want it to stand out just a little bit more. I'm going to try to achieve that with just the toffee ink, but if not, bring in a little bit of that mocha, just so that it stands out just a tiny bit. Okay, I think I'm getting good coverage because I'm using a lot of the toffee and I'm coming in and picking up on that edge, which is giving me that extra level of color that I was looking for. There we go. I'm super happy with that. Okay. We'll just go ahead and always wipe off. It's like buffing. Buff your Irresistibles when you're done. And the darker the color, the more I suggest you buff a little closer to when you're inking it. So take very frequent breaks and buff it, because it can pick up some pigment. Our water-based inks are close to my heart. Water-based inks are perfect for doing the Irresistibles. They just, every single color just works beautifully. All right, let's go ahead and get set up to do this layout. I am doing a single page layout today. All right, here we go. Now let's talk about prepping your pieces. You're gonna need 9 3x3s. Okay, and then after you have cut your 3x3s, what you'll do is line them up in your trimmer, corner to corner in your cut groove. I like to just let my my blade fall in the center and hold it nice and firmly, and then go from one side to the other. I find that I'm less likely to hit that point and you know, kind of push it in. All right, I'm gonna put this off to the side with all my others. And we're going to bring in this. So this is a 9x9 piece of white daisy. That's why we're going to have 9 3x3s that we're going to mix up. And it's not needed, but I like that it's going to help me lay everything out. It's also going to give me some dimension. All right, let's put a bunch of these over. I have already cut a bunch of these 9x9s or 3x3s for to fill it. Here we go. And here is my photo. I am doing this picture of George and I. I'm going to keep to a single picture, but I really like this picture of the two of us. I was taking a selfie and he decided to turn and give me a kiss, and I really liked it, and I thought this would be such a great page to add to our book. All right, so the idea with this, you can see, is just the patterns don't match. Now I think there's a larger variety here, but that's okay because I'm not using this mix-in has this on the other side. I'm not going to be using that side. So I have a little bit, and then I've added some of that. So I also have a couple of solids here, and I like the solids. We can use the solids, but with any textured stamp set that you have in your stash, I'm going to grab this one. We can kind of change these solids into a little something else. If you don't have a textured stamp one, I highly suggest you get one. I have been using them for years. They are a big favorite for me to have in my stash. The other thing is you can flip over a stamp and use the other side, and you can get a little something. Of course, I needed this block. I just got done using it. It is so dirty. Okay, you can just flip your stamp over and use the back of your stamp, and that should, you know, at least allow you to pick up some texture. I'm going to go ahead and just grab this one here. I don't believe the textured stamp that I'm using right now is still available. I think it is retired. I hang on to mine for years. I have one that is, I don't even know how old my oldest one is, but I tend to hang on to them because whenever Close to My Heart comes out with one, they're always different. You know, they're never the same. I'm going to start with Shortbread. And I'm going to be taking the Shortbread ink, and I'm just going to stamp it right on top of that Shortbread on the light. It's the light side of the cardstock. There we go. And I'm just going to give this some texture. I'm going to be leaving, whoops. Oh, did that pick up? It did, but that'll be okay. I'm going to leave the toffee just solid like it is, because I have some toffee components in with some textured papers. Okay, I'm going to do a big no-no now, and I know. I'm going to go to Limeade. I'm not going to clean my stamp. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I think what I'll do instead of stamping the color on color for the Limeade, I think I'll go a little bit darker with that. So another color that was in this, which was darker, was our Jade. And I had already pulled Jade out and used it, so I had just got done using Jade. Which means it's directly in front of me, and the reason why I can't find it is because I'm on camera. Oh, there it is. Okay, so instead of doing the Limeade, I'll go ahead and do the Jade on top of the Limeade. I didn't notice a lot of the Jade in this collection, but there was definitely some in the stickers. See, this is going to be much bolder. There we go. And I don't mind that, you know, they're in different ways or any of that. That, you know, I'm not stamping perfectly across. I will sometimes do multiple stamps. That's because I'm off the little gouge thing that's underneath there. There we go. Okay. So now all our triangles are prepped. Okay, so the idea for this is that we are going to be filling in the 9 by 9, and we just want to do lots of different colors. So for this one, I want to put one on this side. These are both going to be on this side, of course, but these are going to both be on this side. Same. I have 2 of these, I have 2 of these, and I have this. So this is really the only one that I have. So I might do 2 of each so that that one doesn't stand out as much. Okay, over here on the edge, I'm going to have that shortbread coming in. So probably going to stay away a little bit away from my shortbread and the toffee. Let's go ahead and fill in. So you're just going to start. This is why I like the 9 by 9. You're just going to start with putting one down, one triangle down, grab a different triangle. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, since I paired these 2 together, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it on top of this. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it on top of this. There's a method to my madness. I am a little over the edge using that little white guide. You don't need a ton of adhesive on this because we're not going to be doing anything with it. Okay, here we go. Don't want to overcompensate there. All right. And we'll put this one right up against that. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to grab the shortbread. As I said, you don't need a lot of adhesive, and look how much adhesive I just put on, right? Okay, so for all of these, you can see that the triangles were placed all in the same direction. So it went one down like this and then one like this. You can change it up. So you could now do one like this and then one to go on top of that. I think I'll do this one here. This way. So they don't all have to face the same direction. This is such a great layout to, you know, we're once again creating background pages to put our photos on. This is such a great one to just kind of like make again and again and again. I think that I could really see the fun in that. All right, I'm going to this toffee piece right here. And I'm going to use this piece here as well. Okay. And for this one, I'm going to put the top piece on. Back to the way that I did it in the first one. And don't push on your pieces. Just kind of let them lay up against it. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down the rest of my pieces in a sporadic pattern, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my 9 by 9 all set up, and it is looking great. I actually found I had left one square behind me on my prep table, and I was like, wait, I'm short. How am I short? But so I was able to go ahead back and find it. And look, doesn't the stamped cardstock, it looks like more pattern paper. Everything's coming together. I think it looks so good. I do want to go ahead and add some ink to this. All right, we have those brushes out. We might as well, I think it will make a nice transition to go from the pattern papers into this with some ink. I am going to be using some toffee. And then I'm going to be going back and using a little bit of the mocha. So right here where it's on the toffee, I'm just going to hit it a little bit in the mocha. And then just kind of come around back to the toffee. Just real quick little circles there. It's going to put like a really nice bit of color. And then we're going to grab our other piece. And we're going to do a slight edge on that. just hitting the mocha wherever that toffee is. And a little bit of that pigment's going to stay in my brush, so it'll carry for a little bit for a nice blend. I have a slight gap, and I'm okay with that. On the page, I will tell you a secret. Done is better than perfect. Okay, there we go. All right, and we will, ready to pull that in. Let's grab our rag, and we're going to buff the Irresistibles. Always buff them no matter what. Whenever you add ink, give them a little buff. There we go. Oh, it's like revealing magic. Oh, that looks nice. I like the transition of color. We're going to grab that piece. Here you go. This is from the As You Grow collection. I kind of want to stay more with toffee, but I have a little bit of that mocha on here as well. So I'll just tap that every second or so. I don't want to get too much. I already looked and that's a little more than I wanted. I probably should have done a little bit straighter of an inking on it. So I'm going to go a little lighter. Just add some mocha to the edges so it doesn't look like a mistake, basically. All right. Much lighter on my ink now at this point than I was originally. There we go. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this together. Because I've done the gut on this paper, I'm not a fan of normally when it's a 12-inch gut that I don't secure the paper, but this is going up for a 12-inch. And if you've seen my prior videos, you know that I take the washi tape when it's a 12-inch gut, and I tape the whole back, but I do that just to kind of secure the back. I don't need to do that with this because it's going on a 12 by 12. So when I gut smaller, it actually saves me a bunch of work. All right, there we go. Getting our back in the frame there so y'all can see. Here we are. I'm already loving this, but my running joke, you had me at Lagoon, my all-time favorite, close to my heart color. All right, I have grabbed this gingham because I could. That's the only reason. It was like the first, oh, I do like the transition with the ink. Yeah, that transition with the ink is nice. So now we have 12 by 12, 11.5 by 11.5. Although it's got it, we have a 10. Let's see, what's this? What did I bring this in at? 9 3/4 by 9 3/4. I wanted to be able to see that Irresistibles. That was my decision in what size to make this. Okay, and now we're going to bring in, I had to do a little trim on this when I was done. That, we'll just call it our 9 by 9 background piece. I'm actually looking at which way I want it to go because I want to know, like, I have this to the outside and I really didn't want that to the outside. So guess what? Let's see if we can just swap that really quickly. It's okay if it's a little messed up underneath. I really like the inking on this because nobody sees what's underneath of this, you know? Okay, let's just give this a quick little switch. We'll turn these around. I would much rather have two toffees next to each other than to have that on the outside and take away from that gorgeous frame. Now, if you've created your frame with the stencil, you're going to feel the same way, I'm sure. Okay, so what happens is I have a little bit of ink there. I'm going to go ahead and ink this and just kind of be okay with what I end up. Okay. Get that ink off of there and let's bring it back in. There we go. Yeah, I like it way better. Okay. Let's just decide where we want this to go. Options, right? So my picture's going here. So my thought is when I put the picture there, I know I'm going to lose a good bit. So it's kind of, what do I want to see down the side? And that's really, I'm going to see this across the bottom. I'm going to see this. I think I'm going to go ahead and put it down in the original part that I designed. I don't know if this shortbread really needed the ink, but I like the look of it. So why not, right? Okay, I have to reserve this for a project that I'm doing tonight on my Tuesday Live. So I need to map my photo. Let's bring our photo in, and we need to, oh, I actually really like this. Okay, so this is going to look pretty good. I printed this on my selfie, and what I did is I chose to have the border on. So this particular picture has the white border, and it's shiny because it's photo paper. And one of the things you'll notice about the Irresistibles is they have a little bit of a shine to them. So I felt like it was kind of more bringing in the same components. I can already tell that I'm going to want to do this in Lagoon. Let me grab my piece. I kind of had a feeling, but I could do a dark Lagoon on this and show off that two-sided cardstock if I want to. But I think I'm going to stick with the light. All right, I'm not even going to measure this. I'm going to map my photos just like I always used to. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my photo, and I'm just going to, whoops, sorry guys. I just hit the camera mount with my head. It happens. I'm used to trying to lean all the way over, so it does happen. Okay, there we go. All right, we're going to bring this in. I'm really happy with the something old, something new journey that we're all on. Those of us that are crafting together, and I hope if you're not crafting together with us yet, that you soon will be. It is a wonderful way to just learn new things and keep excited about your crafting. All right, but I have some things off to the side. Okay, that's going to do it for me. I really feel like I'm just going to add some extras. I am debating on the double matte. Like, I know it already is double matted because of that. I'm also waiting to sneeze. It's my real life. Okay. I like it. Let's add a couple of extra pieces that I have here. So I have, these are all scraps from the workshop. So just remember, do your workshop first. But, oh, so I don't even know if everyone's going to have that same piece there. But I definitely wanted this. One of the things are some dovetails that are over here. And they are in the Cricut file because it's a complete Cricut file. But it's not this. It's this. So this will be all the triangles, but like I put that extra 9x9, you know, you can do that. I'm going to cut this at 1 1/4 by 3. And I am going to look forward to getting rid of this. Now I found this XOXO paper. I'm going to cut that at 3/4 by 3. I like that it just had the X's and O's. It's an old mix-in paper. And why not mix it in? Because we can, right? I have some extra, some added extra pieces over here. But I have this striped piece. And this is 1 1/4. And we're going to cut that by 3. Notice we're using a lot of 3s. 1 1/4 by 3. I'm going to turn that on that side. I ended up not liking that stripe as much as I thought I would. And now we have a few little extra tidbits of the paper. So one is this where it says take note and this happened, and I'm just going to rip. So this happened. And then I'm going to, it's not the one I'm looking for. There we go. I'm going to take this little piece here in case I want to use that. I'm going to grab most of this now and just move it out of my way so that you're not looking at a pile of crazy. All right, I went ahead and stamped and cut in Limeade 3 of the dragonflies from the stamp set. I have some Limeade bling out of my stash. I have ancient. I think this was called Documented. And this is my something old that I'm currently destashing. And I'm just going to use these little flowers that are right here and here and these little wood strips. But I found this wonderful verse on here. It says, sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory, by Dr. Seuss. And I was like, wow, I really love that. And I could have let that go if I hadn't been doing this journey. And now I'm grabbing these old flowers, and I have my wood standing by. These are like the thicker wood shapes, so I have that standing by. I won't be using any of this canvas, but that'll come up on on another one, I'm sure. All right, and I have a Shortbread Shimmer Brush and these Lagoon bits. So let's go ahead and make some magic. I'm going to pop this down here right now, and we're going to start throwing a bunch of things on this. Now I'm going to decorate this and embellish it a little more than what we have going on right here because I want to use some stuff up. Bringing this up here, going nice and straight. I want to give you a measurement, but you know what? Just put your picture down where it looks good. I kind of tried to do a side-by-side onto this portion. All right. Dovetails up the middle from each side. Okay. Up the middle. And then from each side. And when I move it off camera, I'm just moving it so it falls on my floor. I play craft room barbershop over here. There we go. Snips, snips, and snips. Fantastic. And I have stamped the Live in the Moment. And it's kind of big. It's a little bigger than what I think is obviously on here, but I'm okay with that. I wanted to use the stamp that came with the product, this particular set, because just to get more value out of it. You know, we've already spent the money for the workshop, and with this bonus project, I'm getting one bonus scrapbook page and a bonus card. All right, so there we go. I think my blade needs to be changed, but you know what? You'll see another video where I do the same thing. I keep one of these in my drawer and kind of okay with that in my life. All right, so there we go. I have lots of bits to use. Let's go ahead and start putting some stuff down. I have this Live in the Moment, which is, I stamped it in Lagoon because Lagoon is my favorite, but it is kind of big and it's covering up a lot of, it's almost like it's competing. It's so big. It's competing with my photos. So I'm going to move it a little down and off to the side. I am going to lose some of those Irresistibles, so don't be surprised if I don't end up pulling that off. We're going to go with the Lagoon underneath, layering both, just tucking those. It would be right above it. The little X's and O's, I want that to be shorter. I did all of them in 3 inches so I could play, but I can already tell I'm going to need that to be shorter. There we go. A little bit there, a little bit there. Just kind of laying everything out. This happened can come right here above my photo. And I will like that. We'll have these little extra tidbits. I can add a couple of dragonflies. There we go. Okay, I'm going to add some flowers, and I'm going to go in here and grab a little bit of these, looking at these wood shapes that I have. I'm looking for a heart, but I want the right size heart. There we go. This little one here is cute. I think that'll work. I'm going to add some of these flowers that are on here as well, kind of like the ones that are like that. I think I'm actually feeling really good about this. Okay, the only thing is I feel like this just needs to be defined a little bit more. So we're going to take my sponge. It's brown. My flat sponges like this, I have some that I never put away. And this goes until it falls apart. I rip this off and I throw it in the trash when it starts to shed. I'm getting a little shedding now from it. But I use this in every brown that I have. So it goes in mocha and espresso and acorn and toffee, and I just keep doing it. So I just call it my brown. I think that that is going to work. Let me go ahead and get a little darker. And I use this all the time. As you can tell, there's still ink on it, so it's obvious that I've used it recent. It never has time to dry out. All right. And no foam tape so far, but we are going to add some. just sliding that under there, the smallest amount. I still want to get all the detail in that stamped image. I cut it nice and tight. I'm going to pull these off. I actually think I want to attach this way. Sometimes attaching these this way, they help me to make sure that I'm getting my dovetails all seen. Because, you know, I don't want to lose that detail. There we go. Right above. Right, it's right on top of it. Like almost, and they're the same length. And now we'll add some different length there. It's really cute. I like the little X's and O's on that. This happened. I'll add my journaling later. I really like to add my journaling. I like to sit down and do a lot of pages at one time when I'm journaling. I love the story by Stacy. It has dramatically changed the way I journal. I'll put that information in the comments as well. I feel like I journal much better. I'm more precise. I include, I think, better details since, and I reread it all the time. But just, it's a wonderful book. If you do struggle with journaling, I highly suggest it. Okay. Just going to go ahead and add these. I just fussy cut those. Little glue dot. This is one of the larger wood hearts, so I'm happy that I am getting rid of, and I could put one on the other side, which is something I would normally do, but I'm not. I'm trying to be comfortable with new things. Okay, so I have these like little banner pieces, and they're really just on my use it up. So I'm going to just use those as little decorative elements. They're from something old. So just kind of little decorative pieces that I'm adding to just kind of, we'll say, give a little something, something. All right, we're going to put this here. And then I'm going to punch out these flowers and make sure, I love the wood complements, but you always want to make sure that you are cleaning those little bits out. I left my glue's been open. I was crafting earlier today. There we go. Let's go ahead and give that a, see if I can. Might be down in there a little further. The struggles, right? It's something so simple to put that little thing back on, and I forget it all the time. All right, I have a little too much glue. I'm just gonna put this on this. I'm just getting some of the glue off. There we go. Okay. Let's add some of these flowers. And you can be really, when you're using up stuff from your stash, you can be super generous with it, because the idea is to use it up. So I'm going to be putting quite a few flowers on this layout. Just all of them off of this. I've had this sheet for a while. I did a card workshop. Oh gosh, it was so fantastic. It was called Flower Market, and you can still get that guide on my website. And I used these, and I had some left over, and you can see I even colored them right on there with the markers. So that's really nice. I'm going to try to use up this one kind that's on here, and I'm just using my tweezers to get all those little bits out. I sometimes feel like I spend the same amount of time, if not more, embellishing than I do figuring out what I want to do. I love to add all the extra little things. And now that I am, we're, you know, in doing our challenge with these something old, I feel like I can use even more. So it's definitely not a hardship, I will tell you that. All right, I want to get my wing up over here. Let's put one on this side here. I don't think I'm going to use them all up because let's see. How many more do I have? I have too many more. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have at least 5, if not 6 more. So I want to just grab a couple more of these ones. I wanted to use these stickers up. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just put those in and have that be it for me. Okay. We're going to go right there. Okay. And now let's add our limeade bling. I do like to have all the colors of the bling. I love our dots. The enamel dots are my favorite. Now you can use the jade or the limeade because they are both part of this. And you can see since we did that stamping on there, you're definitely going to see that. And I want to grab my stickers that I'd mentioned earlier because I don't want to forget there is this love this person on that sticker. And I don't want to forget to stick that right above my dovetails. There we go. And if that's not available, you know, you're probably doing a different picture. Use something else that is available on here and you can use those up. All right, but there we go. Let's go ahead and add some of our limeade. Okay, there we go. I am just going to stick with the limeade, I think, for this one. Just everywhere that I want to have that extra little pop of color. This is a large. This was a small, this was a medium. Sometimes you guys like to know that. I like the way all of this turned out. I feel like I'm almost done. I do feel like I'm almost done. I don't know that I need, I think I'll just go ahead and put the other ones on here. We're going to kind of tuck that one behind that. And then we will pop this one right over here, right on top. You can see because we have a difference in the dimension as well as the that shiny color that comes with the enamel dots. That's going to do it. All right, that's going to do it for me. I get to put this one to bed. And there is no hardship in this because I absolutely love how it turned out. Look at that. So now what we've done is we've just taken this inspiration from the Close to My Heart catalog, which is so great. It's an idea book and it's a catalog. You know, they've coined that idea book and they mean it. You always want to look at the artwork that's available in our catalog. But here is your bonus project with Skylark. So you get to make those 4 cards, 6 pages. You can make this. And then tonight on Totally Terrific Tuesday, I will be back. I did forget to add a little something that I thought I was going to want to add to that. And that was these lagoon bits. But I feel like I'm good. Like I'm really happy with what I have. So I think it worked out really well. Sometimes editing is just as important as adding. I think it's more important for me because I can tend to just keep going. But you can see we added lots of fine things. We have our something old with our something new. A big shout out to my crafting group for blending in those irresistibles so you can see how they might work in another way for our creative art challenge this month. I want to thank you guys for allowing me some time to craft with you today. And if you liked this video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. It really does help me out here in the YouTube community. And if you want to leave me a comment, I'll make sure to send you one back. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.